Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. Happy Friday. This is a great experiment, and what we're going to demonstrate is here we have a Bedini coil. Um, it's got many turns. We're not going to get into the details of the turns. We are going to change some formalities with it. What's going on? Hey, buddy Jason. Well, we're going to do experiment a little bit here, and we're going to show the energy moving around the matter. In this case, the matter will be this laminated iron core, as well as the turns on the coil. And how you been? I like the work you're doing, Jason. Yeah, I guess between working on your experiments and feeding the fam, a lot going on. Give me 1 second, and we're going to start this experiment. And I guess out of one of these experiments, we're going to use the Bedini without a transistor, no reed switch, no capacitor, just two DC batteries. Let's get right to it. All right. So I'm going to start off with getting you off the pedestal. Let's get you going here. So this is my Bedini coil setup. I was working on my own coil and making a oscillator, and I stumbled across this. I took this out. This is just a little spark gap. Hello. Excuse me. This is a little spark gap. Works off magnetics. So we're going to take that and put that on the end here. Okay. And the idea is when the magnet comes by the core, it's going to go ahead and move the gap. Let's see if we can see the gap move. No, not there. There you go. So now you'll see it move in and out. All right. So I'm going to use two batteries, 12-volt batteries. So we're going to put 24 volts into it. So we're going to come out of one end, and we're going to connect to the front, bottom section here. And then we're coming out of the other end somewhere. Let me see what's going on here. And we're going to connect that to the front here. I'm going to loosen up the gap. See if I got this hooked up. So basically I just got one coming in, one going out. So, yeah, that's wrong. Let me see. So I'm coming out of the hot and going into this one lead, which is the driver of the coils. What's going on, Angel? And then the other lead goes to the other end of the coil, which is wrong. There we go. Got my connections now. No transistor. Nothing. Now listen when I move the magnet around the core. Listen. Yes, dear. Huh? No. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Just put the oven on a high temperature. I'll come in, put it in the pan, stick it in. Well, I'll finish it off in the grill, I guess, okay? All right, thank you. It's my oscillator. Right now the frequency is in kilohertz. 14 point change kilohertz. So right now the energy is moving around the core. There's no capacitor here. This is not a tank circuit. Watch this. Now let's change it up a little bit. Can we get the wheel to turn? Nah, it keeps getting locked in. What do we have to do to make it want to turn the wheel like a transistor does? Let's try it. Let's turn this closer. I made this adjustable. You can hear the speed change. Listen to that. Kilohertz. Speed's going up. So we're increasing the speed. You can hear that speed going up, right? This is a homemade oscillator. Let's see how fast we got that. Speed up. No transistor, my brohams. We now have a full running Bedini wheel. Listen to that washing machine turning. It's 24 volts DC coming into the oscillator. The oscillator now is turning the wheel. The speed now is 2.277 kilohertz. Frequency. Now this wheel is turning on its own. Now moving it away. See the gap fluttering? Now I move it closer. Well, here you go. Now the wheels stop turning. The oscillator stopped turning. Now watch this. Watch me back out. Look. It's turning it again. Look how far out we are. And I just adjusted the gap. Listen, it's taking off. RPM, I don't know, but frequency is 1.275 kilohertz. Now I'm adjusting. Speed picks up. You can hear it picking up, right? So you got the gap going. It is running off the... Oh, let me show you something else. Any of these combinations of feeder wires? It's picking up speed. I'd have to put a tachometer, I guess, on it. It's pretty amazing, though. You can see the kinetic flow of what's actually happening here. There's energy. If I pull this out, you can see you don't hear that turning. You don't hear it. But if I push this in, you see it going on? And now the wheel will pick up. You can hear the wheel, it's getting faster. Now, if we're not interested in turning the wheel and we want to bring it over here, the magnet's reacting to the. What's going on? Coolpix in the house. Listen as I move the field. Look, turn the gap off. Going on, Jason, Eli, EL. So there's no magnetic field present. We're going to go ahead and just push the gap in a little bit. Look how the magnetic field is starting to respond. Now I want you to remember, guys, this is not a tank circuit. There is no capacitor, and there's no transistor. We're taking straight DC, and we're pulsing it by using a coil and a core and a spark gap that is spring-loaded. Now the spring-loaded part is the fact that that gap has this tension on there. I can control the tension. That's all working off the core and that first part of that gap. Yes, I did. So let's pull this out. Let's pull it out. Everything stops. This is what I took off the front of a buzz box. It's a spring-loaded gap, and I can adjust the back part of that gap, and this is how it connected inside. And this is top part is connected to the gap that's on this side, and the bottom, this part here, you can see it moving. is connected to the bottom section. Now, made out of metal. So I'm just taking this core here and letting the core respond. What the amazing part is without the magnet in front of it, we can still get the gap going. Now you got to think about that. How is the gap opening and closing and shutting on and shutting off? Well, what's happening is the other wires that are on this bifilar is acting as a feeder. Well, more like a tickler, as Tesla would say, a feedback circuit. And the feedback circuit is not going back into the wire, but it is turning the, it's making the back spark gap pull away when it's not connected, and when it's connected it pushes forward. So it's having a spring effect in the gap area. Let me go ahead and connect the bottom section. That connects the inside gap, and this one, funny, is watch. I'm going to take this and just touch it and it'll stick to it. Like right now it's on, you know, but nothing. So if I stick this over there, and if I touch it, look, it'll stick to it because it's magnetized. How's it magnetized? Look, I push it tight. It's on. You have DC. These are two little alarm batteries right there. DC is being pulsed by its back own EMF. Now watch when I move the magnet on the core. Listen. Look at the spark gap. Now I have this hooked up to my my frequency counter, and the frequency counter, I'm gonna have to take you off. Sorry about that. I'll take you off and put you over there. The frequency counter is at 32.178 kilohertz. To me, this is amazing. It's like, why would you need a transistor? Why would you be limited? Now, if you take this gap and you move the field, you guys hear that? All right, so now we're going to get rid of the field. Watch this. Let's move it away from the field. We're going to come all the way over here. So now there's no field. There's no magnetic presence here. Just the core, just the setup. Let's bring it closer now. Let me tilt this the right way. So it's on without. Just, you got it. It's hard with one hand. I made the outside adjustable. Being stubborn right now, but you guys get the point. All right, let's bring it back to the magnetic field. And now you can see it's starting up on its own. Now it's acting like a transistor. Now it's turning the wheel. It's using the magnetic field. You hear it picking up speed? And we can push this closer. You can hear that? Guess a piece of tape would be best, huh? Reel's picking up speed. Hey, look, a piece of tape. Yes, my multi-gap is acting like a feedback. Now there's going to be a counter reactance when you put a load inside the coil structure. You guys get that? Meaning that there's 9, this is I think 11 bifilar. Now on the original Bedini you got a smaller wire. I don't know if you could see that. And you got 2 fatter wires. These are 2 small wires. We're not using that. That's the original feedback tickler to the Bedini circuit. We're just going in on the next size up wire or bigger wire, and we're using that to power the core. And then the other bifilers are all just running loose. There's nothing there setting. So it's the reaction between the core and the coil setup, or the core and the going on, William? Sounds like a chainsaw. See the inductive part of the magnetic field from the core? Watch. Resonance at its finest, William. Yeah. Yes, dear? Yeah, I can pick it up. Four, two. All right, guys, we got some family matters we got to attend to. So, sorry I got to break free, but I really like to go a little deeper in this with you guys on another video because there's a lot more going on here as far as exploratory area. And what I mean by that is no way. No way. That wheel just took off. You guys. Peace out, my brohams. Who needs a transistor when you can make your own spark gap? It's acting like a tank circuit, but it's not. There's no capacitance, except for the capacitance that's built up in the other bifilers. They're making a capacitance.